This week on the Roofing Report, an insurance lawyer has been called out for dirty ads and political scandals. Then, Home Depot is acquiring SRS. We've got all the details on the major deal. Later, we'll get into the fallout from MTS Construction, why some management got in trouble and some didn't. And of course, we'll end up on some good news. We are highlighting highest roofing out of Virginia this week. Hey guys, welcome back to the Roofing Report. We have some crazy stories for you this week, but first, if you like these videos, please give us a like down below. And if you have stories you want us to cover or company updates to share, you can send them to sydney@roofinginsights.com. Now, let's get to the news.
Badger's Corner.
First up this week is a story shared by Steve Badger, written by Trish Whitcomb. It's a hit piece on a Houston claims lawyer, Eric Dick. And man, it's spicy. If you live in Houston, you've probably seen one of Eric's ads. They are memorable.
Is your home insurance company playing hard to get? Maybe it's time to give them a healthy dose of Dick. I'm Eric Dick, and I'll go in deep with your home insurance claim and won't pull out until you are satisfied. Call me right now at 832-LAWYERS. That's 832-LAWYERS.
So this lawyer is famous for making dirty jokes in his ads. There are even Reddit threads talking about him, but that's not the only controversial thing about Eric Dick. He's running for re-election to the Harris County Department of Education this year. It's a job he's had since 2017, and it's unpaid, which makes all of his scandals even crazier. In 2019, he was fined $30,000 for sending out flyers saying that Obama endorsed him. That was not true. That same year, he called another board member a pervert for hitting on a woman who was applying for a job with them. Later, it came out that Eric had actually tried to set that guy up with a different job applicant. Then, in 2022, he was fined another $40,000 for campaign finance violations. Again, this is for an unpaid elected office. This year, Eric Dick is running unopposed, and that's on top of running a law firm. Eric says he represents over 1,000 property owners. If you look at his court filings, he reused the same claims over and over, and the courts are getting sick of it. Last year, Eric was fined $250,000 by two different judges for frivolous lawsuits. He was also investigated for soliciting clients in Hawaii after the wildfires, even though he didn't have a license in the state. Now, it's obvious that the writer of this article and Steve Badger do not approve of this guy, but depending on how you see it, Eric Dick could be a total fraud or a marketing genius. Maybe both. What do you think? Would you hire him, or do you know anyone who has? Let us know in the comments. Here at Roofing Insights, we love our sponsors, and we would not be able to do what we do without them. This week's sponsor is Estimate Experts. If you're a contractor, I know you hate dealing with paperwork. Let Estimate Experts keep you out of the office and in the field doing what you do best. They know the ins and outs of working with insurance companies, and they use Xactimate software to streamline the whole process and make it easy for you to understand. The best part is they are very affordable, really the most reasonably priced option in my opinion. If you need help supplementing insurance companies, call Estimate Experts at 561-677-2977 or go to estimate-experts.com. Thank you, Estimate Experts, for being sponsor of Roofing Insights. We appreciate your help.
Insurance.
Now it's time for another update on the insurance crisis. You might remember last summer we ran a story on State Farm and Allstate Live in California. At that time, they were still covering anyone who already had a policy, but they stopped issuing new policies. But now they're dropping 72,000 policyholders in California.
State Farm has not said where in California it's canceling its policies, nor has it said by what criteria. But experts believe it's most likely in areas with wildfire risk, 72,000 homes and apartments losing their insurance.
It's especially outrageous given the fact that State Farm just got a $500 million rate hike this month.
In a statement, State Farm said, quote, "This decision was not made lightly and only after careful analysis of State Farm General's financial health, which continues to be impacted by inflation, catastrophe exposure, reinsurance costs, and the limitations of working within decades-old insurance regulations."
So it's pretty much the same thing we heard last summer. State Farm says it's too expensive to cover property owners under California law. Right now, they have to set rates based on past data only, but the risk of wildfires is going up every year. Insurers want to use predictive models to keep up with that risk. The state insurance commissioner is trying to fix those rules to help keep them in California. But even if they change, it's not clear if State Farm would come back. As always, we'll keep you updated.
Manufacturers and materials.
On to manufacturers and materials, and we got a couple updates for you. The first one is major. Home Depot is acquiring SRS distribution for $18 billion. This deal was just announced, but you can expect to see more Pro centers all over the country. Home Depot says this will increase their Pro market by about $50 billion, up to $1 trillion total. It's obviously a big shakeup to the supplier market. There are only a few real competitors, and now there is one less. We will be watching to see how it all plays out. Comment below what you think about Home Depot buying SRS. But speaking of competitors, Beacon is still going strong after a record-breaking fourth quarter. They just announced 3 more locations will be opening in Florida and Michigan. No slowing down for them so far. And last but not least, GF is building a new manufacturing facility in Kansas. Construction will start this summer and it's expected to open sometime in 2027.
Fines, scams, and jail time.
All right, time for some drama out of Florida. MTS Construction filed for bankruptcy last month and the fallout just keeps coming. Here's the rundown. MTS has their license suspended in January. The license holder was Edward Erasimovich. He was found guilty on 3 counts: failing to obtain permits, failing to get proper inspections, and committing mismanagement or misconduct. But the problems at MTS started way before that. They were selling receipts for future jobs to a company called Seamless Capital. In October, MTS was ordered to pay back almost $100,000 to Seamless. All of this came after one of their sales guys, former deputy, was arrested for stealing deposits.
From former deputy to temporary inmate, we talked to Paul Tremblay years ago when he used to wear a badge. But recently, he was arrested and accused of unlicensed contracting, fraud, and grand theft from people in the same county he once served. Call after call. I made contact with a few people listed in the report.
The company ended up giving me a roof, so I guess I kind of went as a witness.
Some didn't want to give their names or be on camera, but most of them did say that they knew Tremblay to be a salesman at MTS Construction. They tell me they trusted him.
So when he asked for like all of it up front, kind of, I was like, I mean, I had it, so I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And he's like, oh, it'll be a little bit cheaper if you do cash. So I was like, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. Because like I said, I knew him, so I wasn't thinking anything of it.
Nick Howell says he gave him $15,000. Then about a month later, something felt off. So he contacted his employer at MTS Construction.
They were like, what are you talking about? Like, we don't have you even under contract or anything. And I was like, I literally gave your salesman $15,000.
So he was arrested, but customers are still coming forward about their lost money and they probably won't get it back. One guy is out of $132,000 for a commercial job. Another homeowner is out of $30,000 and he has $20,000 lien to deal with. Most of these customers were sold by Kyle Velas, who was listed as a principal of MTS. He and his business partner, John Sherwood, are also named in the Seamless lawsuit. So far, Kyle and John haven't had their licenses suspended. We were sent a video of Kyle showing off his cars recently. This was posted sometime last year leading up to the bankruptcy filing. We've heard rumors that he has a new company, but haven't been able to confirm that. If you know anyone who is a victim of MTS, they can call the Economics Crimes Unit at 239-258-3240. If you're the homeowner, remember, the safest way to find a roofer is directory.com. Directory.com was built exactly for situations like this. If your roofer steals money from you and you found him on Directory, Directory will reimburse you up to $20,000 or actual amount of the job if you register a job with the Directory.com. No other website will recommend roofers and back them up with their money. Directory does that, so go to Directory.com and browse safely, because we don't want you to get scammed by contractors or being affected by their bankruptcies.
Rules and regulations.
This next one is in my home state, Minnesota. A new bill could change the rules for independent contractors here. It's called SF 4483. The Attorney General wants to crack down on people who are trying to avoid paying for employee benefits. You might remember the Biden administration published a new rule about this not too long ago. But the bill in Minnesota will have more teeth if it passes. There would be a more detailed test for deciding whether someone is an employee or a contractor. And employees would get fined up to $10,000 if they misclassify workers. If you're on the 1099 model, this is a big news. It could change the entire structure of your business, but it's not set in stone yet. Right now, the bill has only been passed by the House. It's going through revisions in the state, so there could be some more changes coming. All that said, it seems to have a lot of support. We're going to keep an eye on this for you. Let us know with questions you have in the comments.
Good news.
Now for some good news. We want to shout out Highest Roofing and entire family this week. You love to see companies like this helping their community. Check it out.
The Miramontes family says after severe hail damage last summer left their roof in dire need of repair, their insurance company failed to cover a replacement, leaving them with their only option to take out a loan. But that's where a local company stepped in to help.
We are deeply committed into our motto, which is we change roofs and we change lives. So when we heard about their struggles to get the insurance company to replace their roof, we saw an opportunity to make a real difference in their lives.
A family-owned business helping a family in need. Fernando works alongside his father and several other relatives on projects around the valley. But this one, close to their hearts.
For us, providing this service goes beyond simply installing a new roof. It's about fulfilling our mission to positively impact the lives in our community.
The crew spent 2 days tearing off old shingles and paper, checking the decking, and then installing accessories and new shingles, finishing the project last week, all with the goal of bringing peace of mind to the Miramontes family. Maria says they are an example of kindness and how to help people help each other. I hope that one day God will repay them for this gesture. As the old saying goes, he who does well fares well. God bless the Highest Roofing office staff and team, and thanks to everyone who contributed and made this possible for us.
Good job, Highest Roofing. Thank you for being good guys in the industry. That's it for this week. Make sure to watch next Sunday. Please engage, like, subscribe, give a comment on something that really touched your heart this week. I'll see you guys all in the next video.